First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakakadash, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi. Double honors to our apostles at Great Millstone who rule way to taught us his truth. Peace and love and blessing salutations to Yahakim, this part of the Bahasham, the house of David. As you see the title for this lesson, through the Spirit, no one loves the warrior until the enemy's at the gate. And pretty much scriptures that we go into all the time. I'm gonna bring out a couple of them. I mean, you pretty much get the idea, all right? Because we always talk about Jacob's trouble. We always talk about the enemy coming in like a flood. We always talk about the devil coming down, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, as well as other things. And the warriors through the Spirit are you brothers out there that's teaching the word of truth and sincerity with the right doctrine, all right, that who the Lord chose and gave this beautiful knowledge to, all right, to condemn 2/3 of our people, as well as correct 1/3 of our people, and also to condemn and tell the other nations their judgments. Okay, because these people get it twisted. This is a book full of prophecies, all right, things that have happened and things that have not happened, all right, and it's also a book of judgment. Okay, hey, they got that saying, the judge threw the book at them. Well, we're throwing the book at 2/3 of our people and these heathens, mainly Esau, Edom. So let me get this real quick, because hey, we've been warning, that we're the ones that are the ones that are standing upon the watchtower, and the enemy's coming to the gate, and you people ain't gonna respect or view the prophets or us brothers as prophets until the enemy comes in at the gate. Then you're gonna want to know what the answers of things are. Then you're gonna want to know what's going on, where those guys at. Then you're gonna want to try to get yourself right. Let me see. Bear with me one moment. This is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 5. And whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them. And that's just that right there through the Spirit, man. Okay? Everybody's going to know through the Spirit and power of Yahawah that there have been a prophet, or there have been prophets among them. Because we know, as far as in the fact of the scriptures, all right, the Lord sends the prophets rising early before the day of judgment. Let me actually find that. This is, let me see, Jeremiah 25:4. It says, and the Lord has sent unto you all his servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened, nor inclined your ear to hear. So the Lord always sends the prophets rising early. You see, you jakes, you're not going to listen until what? Until the enemy comes down having great wrath. Then you're going to want to listen, or until those missiles come, or until these specific prophecies that we've been speaking about, like the MOTB, the RFID CHIP, that we know that this specific technology is coming soon. Then you're going to want to hearken, and a lot of you are going to take it anyway. But then shall you know that a prophet hath been amongst you. Okay? See, that's all it takes, and I always say it. It just takes, if the Lord is for you, you know what I'm saying, can't nothing be against you. But if the Lord ain't for you, I mean, all these plagues are going to hit you. But what it's going to have to take for Jake is way more than us just speaking. It's going to have to take, the Lord to put mass judgment on them by way of the so-called white man. This is Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he know that he hath but a short time. And that's just the just of the things. Okay, that's why I named this specific title. You know, it's like, you know what I named it, because at the end of the day, you know, we're coming into that time to where you people are going to want answers when the enemy comes to your hoods. All right, when those crazy guys on the street corners that were biblically talking are talking biblically the right way, instead of, you know, like it's Sunday today, you know, hey, you're gonna want answers. Let me get that. But guess what? The Lord's gonna make it to where you can't find them. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahawah, saith Yahawah our power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. So a lot of you people out here through the Spirit, all right, hey, when that enemy comes to the gate, all right, that's when you're gonna know that these men, which ye men of Israel, you're the warriors, all right, that have been on the watchtower, they were right. That's when you're gonna want to listen. That's when you're gonna want to get the faith, the truth, but it's gonna be too late, and it's getting way more later. Okay, that day, the day of the Lord is gonna come and hit people unawares so fast. People gonna be doing your regular business. You people gonna be thinking everything is cool, like the scriptures say, peace and safety, and then hey, it's just gonna boom. One day you're gonna wake up and things gonna change. Like I said, like I said all the time, like how the pandemic happened. 1 minute everything was cool, one minute everything was fine and dandy, then boom. Next thing you woke up, okay, and things were different. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing's gonna happen. Hey, the day of the Lord is gonna take a lot of people unawares. Okay? Let me see. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahawah, it shall not find it. And the only ones that have the words of the Lord, all right, that has this treasure in earthly vessels, are the brothers out there that have the doctrine of great millstone, that are teaching the word of truth and sincerity. Okay, because hey, you're gonna come to find out through the Spirit. Hey, the Lord also, you know, Yahawashi, he's the ultimate savior. Okay, he delivers, you know, the nomen omen, his name, but also too, he has his men out here that he called saviors as well. What is that? I think it's Obadiah. Yeah, hold on. That's the Spirit. This Obadiah chapter 1, verse 21. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. So we're saviors too. And when that power comes, when that enemy comes in like a flood, that's why I named it what I named it. All right. Then that's when you're going, oh shoot, those guys, where they at? Oh, we gotta. And that time is coming. Okay, that time is coming. Get this in Luke, the 21st chapter. Bear with me. Because it talks about in the scriptures that day coming unawares. Bear with me real quick. It's in the book of Luke. Let me find it. This is Luke chapter 21, verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest any time your hearts be overchanged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. So always be in that spirit. Okay, take heed to yourself, lest that day come to you unawares. Nobody respects the warrior, all right, until the enemy comes to the gate. And that's what's happened. We look like dregs in the street. Okay, let me get this in Corinthians. But like I said, you shall know that a prophet hath been amongst you. See, this is 1 Corinthians 4:9. For I think that Yahawah has set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. We are fools for Yahawashi's sake, and that's talking about us. But ye are wise in Yahawashi. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. Even unto this present hour we both hunger and thirst, and are naked. It's like, yeah, and let me read it again. Even to this present hour we both hunger and thirst and are naked. And that's basically the lifestyle of the warriors. That's the lifestyle of the prophets. Okay, and we look toward Yahawashi for the want of every and anything. Okay, it says, and labor working with our own hands. Also like it. Oh yeah, and are buffeted and have no certain dwelling place. And labor working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless, being persecuted, we suffer it, being defamed, we entreat it. We are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscouring of all things unto this day. And like Deontay Water said, unto this day. Okay? So, hey, when that time comes through the spirit, that's when you jakes, all right, when this enemy comes down to the gates, that's when you jakes gonna recognize, and like it says, real recognize real. Okay, well, that's where you jakes are gonna recognize the real. In a time of a great calamity, in a time of great trouble, when the enemy is at your front door. Okay, even when the Lord comes back. See, all of this is fictionally made up in Jake's head until this fiction that they think that we're prophesying and preaching. Okay, because that's Jake's mentality when we say what we say. Oh, well, no, that's not true. God came to save everybody, or the so-called white man is equal to. Look, hey, when it becomes reality, when this devil shows his horns, then you Jake's gonna be like, oh shit, and he has. Remember that that doc fight was, that's just one scenario, but it was more recent than anything. But that doc fight was a example of that also. Okay, it was a prime example. These devils show their horns, and they're gonna show them way more. And you jakes that are out there that aren't taking this serious, that are laughing and scorning and mocking the prophets, okay, hey, that's who the Lord's sending on you. That's why King David said, deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay, so let me get this. This is Isaiah 62:6. I've set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of Yahawah, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he establish, till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. And we are those watchmen. When you read the book of Habakkuk, the second chapter, all right, it talks about stand upon thy watch. Okay, and we are the watchmen. All right, we're at the gates. Okay, we're the ones that the Lord has put above or high to see that the enemy is going to come down. That's why we are watchmen. Okay, and we take that on. Okay, we fully embrace that, because at the end of the day, these pastors, these pulpit pimp preachers, okay, guess what? They're not out here letting you know what's going on. They're preaching love and equality, and they're preaching hell. If you're bad, you go to hell. If you're good, you go to heaven. Okay, they're preaching Caesar, Serapis Christos. That's what they're preaching. But what are we preaching? Hey, the enemy's coming. Get yourself right, and you can possibly be saved, ye men of Israel. Okay? And it's only to the Israelites. So, I mean, that pretty much covers the point. I didn't want to make this too long. You know, Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopeful elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakhakwadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone who were wedded to us truth. Peace and love and blessed salutations to you, arguments, part of the Bahasham, the house of David. To you few sincere sisters out there that watch, also, shalom to you. You know, for you brothers just tuning in, I'm gonna cut the live. I'm gonna put it from private to public, so you can go back and rewatch from the beginning. Like I always said, you know, like I said, and I always say, you know, Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopeful elect. Shalom.